Well, good morning, everybody. Chuck here with No Time to Be Sad, and it is time for another weekly Q&A update. These are questions that are asked during the week, and some of them I've answered. Some of them are repetitious. Some of them, quite a few people have asked the same question. So I'm going to answer them today. If you guys got any future questions, just put them down below in the description box, and we'll see, maybe it'll get the next Q&A video. I hope everybody had a great day today, and I want to thank you guys for asking the questions for the Q&A. The first question, some of the names I won't put, depends on the question, but the first question is by Brutish. Brutish1 asked, how does cost of living compare with Udon, and what is the street food scene like? The average temperature sure does make that area attractive to live there versus Udon or Cha'am. So he's referring to a video that we did, which is in the Phetchabun province. And we took the ladies up there because the temperature was good. It was actually supposed to be a lot cooler than it was, but cold front kind of moved out a little bit, but it was still 16 degrees. So the locals say in the evening time it's not necessary up in the mountains to have air conditioning because the temperature always dips below 20 degrees Celsius in the evening time. Maybe not every day, but that's what they say. So he's referring to that. I really love the area. If you like kind of seclusion, quiet, beautiful scenery, I think it's ideal to grow stuff if you want to have a little garden or some flowers, something like that, or just to lay out in the scenery and in a hammock. But I really do like the place. And I think it would be a good place for foreigners to long stay. Now, if you go on Google Maps, I always share links to the hotel where we're staying. So if you go to that area and you just type in like markets, you can see markets and you can click on them and you can usually see what the market has to offer, or you can go on a 3D image and you can kind of do a walk around the area. But if you want to know what's in an area, especially one that I recommend, just go to Google Maps and type in like entertainment, markets, malls, hospitals. You can type all of these things in and get all the answers that you want with just a few clicks. The Google is amazing, and Google Maps is a very awesome tool that we use when traveling. And especially when we're going to some place that I've never been and I want to go to a new hotel or a new resort, I want to be close to a couple things, maybe a 7-Eleven, places to eat, things to do within walking distance. Maybe I don't want to be near a bunch of bars. Anyway, I can just go to 3D image and I can do a walk around the whole perimeter of where that hotel is and really kind of get an idea of what's in that area. I've made a couple videos on how to find a good hotel and stuff that gives really detailed information on how to go to Google Maps and do that search. But yeah, I think the markets there were pretty good. We didn't go to all of the markets. Yeah, the temperature's good, but yeah, try the Google Maps. I think that'll be more of a benefit than you just listening to me, you know. Next question. Simone 5524. Good morning. How is the air up in the highlands during the burning season? So this is in reference again to our trip to Kalkal. I saved this because I want to talk about the burning season. So every couple of times of the year, depends on a couple of provinces, they grow rice 2, sometimes 3 times a year. I think 2 times if they're close to a river or an area where it rains a lot. But after the rice season, after the harvest, after they bale up all of the hay from it, they'll burn down the fields and it'll smoke. And it's not just Thailand. It blows in from the neighboring countries too. All of Southeast Asia pretty much does rice except Singapore. And, you know, they have a burning season. There's not much you can do about it. But I will say this, if you're by the ocean, by the water, there's usually a pretty good breeze, and you don't really have too much of an issue especially if you're down south where there's a lot of wind blowing. Up on those mountains, you guys could see those massive windmills up there, so there's a lot of mountains. I mean, there's a lot of wind, but it's blowing the smoke around. So I've never been up there during burning season. I recommend being flexible in Thailand, especially when it comes to living conditions. You can always, if you're in Chiang Mai, the burning season is horrible down there because it's in a valley and there's not much wind. A lot of people bail out during that time and they go down south, maybe go to Hua Hin, maybe go to Jom Tien, for the burning season, 3 or 4 months or however long it lasts. But it's good to be kind of flexible and be able to move around in Thailand, especially if things start to become annoying. Next question. Dutch Buddha asks, thanks for creating and sharing. You're welcome. Thank you very much. On 11 minutes and 25 seconds, you talk about pills, charcoal pills. What do you mean? I don't understand. Please explain. I know a lot of the times I say stuff is repetitious, and a lot of guys go, you've said all this stuff before, Chuck, but you got to remember I get a lot of new people that come and a lot of people go from this channel. So, a lot of times I mention stuff and then you guys might get bored with the answer because you've heard it before. But the charcoal pills, they sell pretty much everywhere. Go-to place for charcoal pills is 7-Eleven. Sometimes they're right there by the register, right down on the bottom. If you look in the front, where they have sometimes medication stuff, easy, quick stuff, Band-Aids, Tylenol, stuff like that, you'll find a package that says Carbone. I'll share a little picture of it right here. And what this is medicated charcoal. So if you say you've gone to the market and you got some sausage on a stick and you felt like, okay, well, maybe this isn't safe to eat, take a couple of those charcoal pills. It'll kill all the bacteria. It's not good to go ahead and do some research on it first. It's probably not good to take it all the time because it kills good and bad bacteria, but it's better than having, and it's not 100%, but if you catch it in time, it's better than having food poisoning, because nothing's worse than being on holiday and shitting sideways for like 4 days straight. So do some research on it yourself. You can look it up, medicated charcoal. This stuff they sell everywhere in the world, and a lot of times if you feel like, okay, I don't feel good all of a sudden, you could still take a couple of those, depending on your size. You may take up to 4 of those charcoal tablets. We used them quite a bit in the military, especially if you're drinking maybe some water that maybe was a little contaminated, or some food, something like that may have been sitting out too long. We used it quite a bit in the military, medicated charcoal. Next question is by James Dawson. James says, hey, Chuck, I don't know if you remember me. I am the guy who told you to try the 3-iron because you weren't hitting your 3 woods. Thank you. I'm still working on my woods, but the 3-iron has definitely been working for me. I told you I was going to the Philippines and then Bangkok. Got there in Bangkok, I was sick, so I got a cab, went to the hospital, and I was getting out of the cab, and my phone must have fell out of my pocket in the cab. Of course, I grabbed a cab off of the street, a green and yellow cab. A long story is I'm here by myself. I bought a phone here. I was lucky I brought my laptop, and it has the contact list of phone numbers of family and friends. The SIM card is unlimited text and phone and online, but not long distance. Can I buy an international calling SIM card for this phone? I would really appreciate any help or information you can, and I'm not one of those foreigners who take advantage of other people. I'm just a little lost here. I did respond to him. I'll share my response. We actually bought an international SIM card at the airport, but you can get any get any SIM card and add roaming to the SIM card very easily online. We don't use the international card anymore. We just add roaming data to our service we have when we travel abroad. The SIM card is basically data only. If you want to receive calls, it's still very expensive. I suggested to him that getting a Google Voice phone number. I think I shared a link to him to how to obtain it. Or you can use Facebook Messenger. He told me in another message that he couldn't remember his Facebook login and password. You can use Line or WhatsApp app to make international calls free. I told him to Google that stuff to learn how to install it, you know. But a lot of times when you lose your phone, especially a Samsung, and I'm sure Apple has the same thing, a lot of that information you can kind of share in the cloud. When you buy another phone, you lose a phone, you can recover it a lot of times with Google on the Google app. You can put lost my phone. If you have your GPS on, a lot of times you can locate your phone and retrieve it. No matter, as long as it's turned on, you can retrieve it. And along with that, you can get information via internet or the cloud to put all the information in a new phone. So I suggest looking into recovering your phone through Google. There's a Google recovery. You can Google that. If you're coming over here, you need to, and I understand he probably lost his information or forgot it. You can do a forgot my password type thing and recover your password through an email. I wouldn't even try to make phone calls through a regular phone. I would just concentrate on either getting a Google Voice phone. The Google Voice phone you can get, but you have to have somebody on standby that has an American phone number. So when you go to set up your Google Voice, and you can get a Google Voice number in the state that you live in a lot of times, but they're going to send a code to an American phone number, and you have to retrieve that code to be able to go on with the process. But I use my Google Voice for my bank account and a lot of other things. So stuff for, like, did you approve this purchase? It'll send me a code and I'll have to put it in there. But all of that's done with my Google Voice. Now the Google Voice, they know it's an internet number. It won't work like for government stuff, at least my government, Social Security, IRS, stuff like that. They won't recognize that. But I highly suggest looking into a Google Voice. But the best way to call is Messenger. Facebook probably has the best connection, I think, to do a FaceTime call, more so than. Of course, Line seems to be getting better, but I would suggest Line app or Facebook. I'm always scared of WhatsApp. Every time I get a WhatsApp message, it's almost like a scam. Next question. Leo Boston says, I thought you created he's a subscriber too. I thought you create these videos for fun and not for money. Or do you? Dun, 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 dun. I said, if you create something every day and you can also make money, that is a bonus, I think. But I think, what does it really matter? Who cares? I mean, who gives a shit what somebody does, if they make money or... It's a weird thing on the internet that people just come out and ask those questions. Like, I don't know, what do you think? I make videos for free. I buy all this shit and then I make videos every day. Of course I do it for fun because it's fun, or I wouldn't do it. I enjoy it, but I also enjoy the fact that I can make a little bit of money and travel and buy equipment and stuff like that. I don't peddle my channel. Like, I never ask you for money, I never say any of that crap. I have an additional, I have a members only, and it's controlled by Google. Like, they won't let me just give a free membership. You have to have a minimal fee because I don't use their AdSense. So they don't put commercials and stuff, like they're not making any money. So they require me to charge people to make content on there. So, but that's just something I do, kind of like commercial free. And I make a video maybe a couple times a week on that. But, what really, for me, it's like, what does it really matter if somebody's making money on the internet? Would you do all this stuff every single day, put time and effort in this for free? I know you probably weren't being ugly about it. I might be a little over the top sarcastic on my response, mainly because I've had this question asked in multiple different ways, and I don't know, it's kind of annoying, I guess, why it's almost like they call you like a e-beggar, like you're trying to get something for nothing. But the way I think, if somebody just comes on the internet and says, hey, give me $1, and people give them $1, like, holy crap, good for him. Like, okay, good deal. The internet is amazing to be able to put yourself out there, and people want to donate and people want to give you money because really they like to watch YouTube, and they like to kind of watch reality instead of something that's scripted or the news or something like that. So it ain't much money, trust me. And it comes at the end, it's a wash. Actually, it's a negative because I make it a little bit positive so I don't have to do like a long form tax. So I do pay a little bit, but it's definitely not cheap to travel and create content. Anyway. Next question. W. Taylor Jr. All in cap locks. Why are you yelling at me? What rights do Vietnam veterans get or can own a car and have the name on it? Their name on it. Foreigners can own a car. All you need is a long-term visa, basically. Foreigners can own a car. In Thailand, they can own a motorbike. What I did was I got a broker to help me find my vehicle, and we found one in Bangkok that I wanted, and we went out there and we looked at it. We ended up buying it. I believe this is true, and at the time he told me I had to purchase additional insurance. And when you register a vehicle in Thailand, it comes with government insurance. There was a lot of questions about insurance. I don't even want to get into the topic no more because everybody's an expert on it. So Thailand's a little bit different when it comes to liabilities and, whether your license is expired or this and that, or you still have coverage. But vehicles here their insurance is a government insurance policy, and everyone has insurance because when you register your vehicle, that little sticker on the window, you're also buying a minimal insurance. But I was told that I had to get like basically comprehensive insurance. So I found an insurance agent in Bangkok, and she's kind of a broker too, but she handles my renewal. I get it inspected. If it's cars over 5 years, you have to have a safety inspection. I do that here. I send her the information. She files for the new sticker, the registration, and she mails that to me, but she also handles my insurance. I have a comprehensive plan. I pay like $800 and something a year. And what I got was the maximum, everything you could possibly imagine policy on my vehicle. And it was only $800 a year. So that there also come to find out that if your license lapses, like you forget to renew it, they don't cancel your insurance not void. And I think a lot of policy, it just depends on your policy wherever you're at. It's not like a automatic, oh, nope, that's it. You got in an accident. No, your license was expired. You're done. I think people forget or make mistakes. Or now it's maybe different if you lose your license because of some crap you did, something that's a little bit different. But I'm sure they want to have some customer retention too. So not everybody probably plays that game. And in Thailand, my insurance company sure didn't. So veterans don't have any special rights here. I think of any war, whether it's Australians or correct me if I'm wrong. You guys can put, you can share your thoughts in the description box. But I don't think you get any special treatment. The only thing I know as far as an American can own a business, we have a special benefit in Thailand where Americans can outright own a business in Thailand, 100%. So, yeah, next question. Vagabond Life. Hi, Chuck. In the situation you described with the lady putting the bike down, as a foreigner, would you stop or just swerve around and continue? I'll share my comment. She laid it down as to jump out of the way, but I missed her. She did stop. She didn't fall. He's referring to, I made a video on our way back from Khao from the mountains. Early in the morning, there's traffic about to make a U-turn in the center, and there's 2 lanes, and I'm in the right-hand lane. There's a cross section. I see a lady on a motorbike coming down a side street. She's about to cross the freeway, and I lose track of her between the cars that are turning. So in my mind, I'm already like, what's going on? I don't see her. She could be coming out. Maybe she stopped. And next thing I know, she is there. I'm right there too. And I'm at the instant where I'm going to slam on the brake. Well, I see her stop. I'm wondering, is she going to go? Do I need to swerve right or do I need to swerve left? She stops quick. And when she did, she laid the bike down by hand and she was going to go jump and run. And I was going to hit her bike, and I just barely missed her bike. But I just kept going. I'm sure it scared the crap out of her. But she didn't fall. Nobody was hurt. She just stopped the bike and laid it down so she could get away from... She couldn't push the bike back probably fast enough, more so than she could set it down and jump off. All this happened really quick. I know it freaked me out, too. If I was to hit her, I would stop 100%. I'm going to tell you guys a couple of stories. Well, maybe one story. I have a couple, but I'll just share one real quick. But I would stop. So when I first got here, I had a couple people sharing their experiences with me. I always do. And I thought this was horrible, but the guy sent it to me in email form, not in public. He said he was traveling through a village, and this was just as the sun set, and he hit somebody on a motorbike, an elderly man he thinks. Well, he thinks he said he didn't know if he killed him or not. He hit the man, and then he drove off. And I thought, you're a horrible human being for doing that, I didn't even respond to this guy. I just, But then a couple of other people throughout the years, and some of them have actually come here. One of them actually was on his way to visit here, and something similar happened, except they didn't die. But one guy, he hit somebody, killed them. Come to find out, the person was extremely drunk. It wasn't the foreigner's fault. The guy was extremely intoxicated. There was no lights on the motorbike, which is pretty common. And he ended up killing the guy. Well, the family wanted millions of baht, And it was a big mess for him, and he almost... he thought he was going to lose his visa and all of his stuff because of the negligence of this other person, And one more quick one. The guy that came to visit, an old lady jumped in front of him and he hit her, knocked her around. He ended up taking her to the hospital, and then he had her bike taken to the shop, and ultimately she wanted a new motorbike. You know, he tried to do the right thing. He took her to the hospital. He left her with some money. He said, contact me if you need more, and I'll go ahead and take care of whatever, you know, your banged up motorbike. You know, and it kind of got out of hand, and he was a little bit stressed out about it, you know. And it was like, you know, it wasn't even my fault, you know, but I felt so bad that this happened. You know, I wanted to take care of her. Anyway, I can tell you a bunch of stories, but what I am going to tell you is my lawyer that I always recommend for visas. They also they handle just about everything else. The law office will get you an attorney for other things. Basically, it's a law office on retention. And he's told me similar things. Yeah, he had a guy hit somebody. The family wanted millions of baht. And when it came down to it, it wasn't the foreigner's fault. You know, they could prove it with cameras and autopsies. The guy was drunk and this and that, and, you know, and cameras up everywhere, you know, CCT cameras. Anyway, the family ended up just getting a few thousand baht instead of the millions of baht that they wanted to try to weasel out of this foreigner. So have cameras, have good insurance, and I suggest getting the law. I don't make any damn money off of these people. I just know that they've helped a lot of our viewers. I'm not trying to plug them for financial reasons. You can even ask them. I don't get anything from them. But their information's always down below in the description box of every one of my videos. Just click on the description and drop down, and you'll see a bunch of information. So yeah, I would have stopped. Next question. I drugged that on. Big Dovak. Biggin. On your intro video, I see you and Paige walking underwater with a bubble in your heads. What is that? Well, the bubble on our head, I think we were in Cozumel in Mexico, and it was an excursion that we did. And it was just, these things weigh a lot, and you just put it on, and then you go down kind of on a lead line with a hose connected to it, and, you know, they take a video and stuff like that, and it was just was silly, it was cool, and it was a good experience, but it was just an excursion thing that we did in Mexico. Canadian Moose asks, can you please activate closed captioning? Thanks. I want to talk about this because a few people ask, I don't know why I speak so clear. Why do you need that anyway? Maybe because you're somewhere and you can't have the volume up, I guess. But the closed captioning is on my channel, but it's all controlled by Google. So sometimes it takes time for it to activate, I guess, and start putting the closed captioning in there. Of course, you have to make sure it's clicked on the bottom of the screen on the video. You hit the little CC tab, and I think you can control the language on that. You can have the language changed. Mostly the viewer has most of the control of the closed captions as long as the creator has turned it on, which mine is always on. I don't turn it on for some videos and turn it off. But I will tell you this. If the computer doesn't pick it up immediately, like it can't understand, maybe I have some music playing and it can't decide what's music and what's voice, it won't do the whole closed caption thing throughout the video. So sorry, my battery got a little bit hot on my camera. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's all of the questions that I'm going to answer on today's Q&A. I hope some of this was entertaining or informational to you. I hope I answered some questions. Yeah, if you got some more, don't forget to put them in the description box. We'll see you guys tomorrow on the next No Time to Be Sad video. Bye.